This week commemorates some powerful sacred times in our Jewish calendar. There are the Israeli holidays of Yom HaShoah, Yom HaZikaron, and Yom HaAtzmaut. Yesterday, we commemorated Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day, and this is really the time where we bear witness to the reality of what we could probably say is the greatest failure of humanity. That on one hand, humanity being able to take their technological brilliance and advancements and apply it to the worst genocide in the history of humanity. And that is one of the greatest evils, how we take our brilliance and our mind and be able and use it for the greatest destruction. On the other end of the holiday next week, we celebrate Yom HaAtzmaut, Israeli Independence Day. And this is the counter opposite. On one hand, on Yom HaAtzmaut it's the time of our greatest ingenuity to build something beautiful, to build a state and a country for the Jewish people for the first time in thousands of years. And everything that we see that is the miracle of the state of Israel came from hard work, persistence, and the brilliance of the Jewish people. And sandwiched in between Yom HaAtzmaut and Yom HaShoah is Yom HaZikaron, or the Day of Remembrance. And this is where we commemorate soldiers who have fallen in war, in the different Israeli wars, to defend their country. And one of the things that is powerful about Israeli culture is that when somebody dies in a terrorist attack or in defending the state of Israel, it is all over the news. It doesn't get lost. Each person and their family's reality is brought to the national attention of the country. And this is, again, the way that there is a huge value of human life, and each life is a loss. It's also worth noting that within these polarized commemorations, one of darkness in Yom HaShoah and one of light in Yom HaAtzmaut, there is a little darkness and a little light in each. So it's important to remember that with Yom HaShoah, as horrible and dark that we experienced, there was beacons of light. There were righteous Gentiles who risked their lives in order to save the Jewish people, to defeat the Nazis. We saw ways in which humanity came forward in great peril to themselves to help defend the Jewish people and stop the war and really defend all of humanity. So there were those beacons of light that is also important to realize as we're living in the reality that we're living in. And then the second, in Yom HaAtzmaut, in the establishment of the state of Israel, there's also been pain to Arab peoples that have had to be displaced, that are struggling to find their own lives after years and years of living in a homeland. And that experience and that reality is also something that Israel and Jews around the world need to be able to be present to. So we have a little bit of each. There's a little darkness in the light and a little light in the darkness. And as we're in this time here today, it's one of the things that is crucial is that we continue to be a beacon of light in darkness, speak out against anti-Semitism, learn the lessons from the past, that there is a gradual, that when people are marginalized and their own human dignity in even small ways is not acknowledged, that can lead to greater atrocities. And that we know that we have the potential to be able to create a society that we can aspire to and that we can feel good about living in. So I wish everybody a meaningful week, and Shabbat Shalom.